gentlemen. Well, I'll just finish up my pig in a blanket.
If the vegetables in a stir fry taste really bad, does that mean they're done wrong?
What?
What? Sorry.
Like the stir fry vegetables and what have you.
Yeah.
It kind of tastes like I'm getting poisoned.
That's the vegetable part, I think.
Vegetables. I mean, were the vegetables the right color when you put them in?
Yeah.
Like the lettuce was green and all that.
We were so close to starting this.
Ryan, it's fine.
Vegetables properly.
You're just a bad cook.
Are
Anyway,
they crunchy?
No, it's a stir fry. They're probably like.
Well, actually, no, they're very crunchy.
Yeah, you haven't cooked it properly then.
Yeah.
It's not cooked.
It's al dente.
Exactly.
You pay a lot of money for that in a restaurant, but Ryan.
Oh, play the tape.
Welcome back, gentlemen, to Dungeons and Dragons this week. A very quick recap as we get into the major battle for the capital. Last session, we returned to Ambyr, where the Drinkers prepared for a war as a storm rolled closer. The armies of Ambyr gathered in the capital and awaited word of where the demon attack was to take place. The next morning, a rider arrived from the tower, proclaiming that in a storm, TIamat's tower, the huge miles-high tower, disappeared. Storm stopped a few miles from the city, and a flash of lightning, TIamat's tower appeared before the capital, its miles-high structure causing a shadow to carve across the landscape. From beneath the floating tower, a pulse of energy erupted, and the earth cracked open, Hell's armies pouring through the opening. You each took control over sections of the army, facing against the first wave of Hell's armies. You've held off well against the demonic invasion, but we'll see how well you continue to face off against them. As also these 3 huge leviathans, 2 sort of smaller ones, and then 1 absolutely gargantuan one with a whole like Parliament church building on its back, flies slowly towards you. But we kick things off with the demons up first, as we finished with you guys taking your turn last time. And the demons, I'm hoping they're going to roll well, because I was telling JJ this week how the demons, the big attack that the Amnesu have, that's meant to be 2d12 plus 6. And last session they were rolling like 9 and 7, which is just fucking abysmal.
Oh no.
So let's hope they can do a bit better this time. So first, I think it's fair to say just the Narzagon is going to go. He's gonna make some attacks first. He's gonna just start blasting with his fire lance, flame lance. I guess I should say, not fire lance. I should probably get some dice out. That'll probably be very, very useful for this situation.
Get your dice out.
Get your dice out, mate. Right. That is going to be first attack against the Dwarves is going to be a 13, which I believe drastically misses the dwarves. But then against the knights, that's going to be a 19 plus stuff. That's going to hit them. So the 13 would get a D4, but even 17 wouldn't hit. So I'm not going to bother with that. Right. So let me grab you and you and you two. So the knights take 19 points of piercing damage and 9 points of fire damage. That was a very, very good roll.
Which one? Sorry.
The knights. So these guys here.
I feel like they were on their way out, weren't they?
Yeah, I mean they got 6 HP, so.
So these guys, just get absolutely destroyed, and then he's gonna walk into this area here, getting very, 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 very close indeed. Next up, the Meragons are gonna go. This Meragon here, and I think he's gonna make an attack against the spellcasters, because these are demons and they're going to look to the weakest things to try and harm them. So the Meragon's going to make a hellish pike attack against them, and that's going to be a 16 to hit. which I believe hits the spellcasters.
Oh yeah,
Does it?
sorry. Attacking them. Of course it does. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's going to be 7 piercing damage plus 4. Sorry, 8 piercing damage plus 4 plus 4 is 8 fire damage.
So 16 total.
16 total. These guys over here are actually, they kind of see an opening, and they're just going to start 2, 3, 4, 5. Then they're just going to dash 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now I have I have a funny feeling they're just going to get close and get absolutely battered. But fuck it, they're going to give it a go. And I'll tell you what, this Amnesu is going to do pretty much the exact same thing, except as the Amnesu gets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, it can. It's going to use its cannons. As if you remember these Amnesu, very sort of Xerxes style, on a big platform on a throne, carried by a load of lesser demons, and it's got like these huge sort of infernal ballistae, but without strings, and they fire these like fireballs, sort of rolling next to them, and they're going to attack the spellcasters upon the wall. Again, devils sort of attacking the sort of weaker things. So let's see if they can do anything. That's going to be a 9 plus 6 is a 15. Sorry, 9 plus 7 is a 16.
That hits.
That hits. So that's going to be 2d. Well, let's take 1. It's 1 plus 2. Is 3 plus 4 is 7 plus some fire damage. 7 plus 2 is 9 plus 5 is, so that's 14 points of damage to the spellcasters upon the wall. As this attack just blasts upon the wall there. Who have I got left? I got these Meragon who are going to move over here, and they're going to try and attack the dwarves. Aid their brothers. So that's going to be a 17 plus 4 is, or 17 plus 4, 21. Plus 1d4 because they're next to the Amnesu. That's a 24. 24 to hit the dwarves. Hits the dwarves. So that's
Shield. Yeah, it's
hits. So that's going to be 9 points of piercing damage and 2 points of fire damage.
is that already hot?
No, that is not halved. So take all that and half it. This Amnesu is going to fire against. It's going to fire against. I think dwarves as well. The dwarves have been a very, very big problem with this so far. Although the spellcasters back there have also been a big problem in just decimating forces. So I think actually they're going to go for the spellcasters and try and shoot over the dwarves. The same one that was attacked before. So these ones here. So they're going to try and hit those. That's going to be a 14 plus 7 is 21.
Yep. Hits.
So that's going to be, please roll a bit better. 6 plus 8 plus 4 is 18. Thank you. Plus 2d. 2 1s on the 2d6 though, so that's 18, 20. That's 20 points of damage against these spellcasters here.
Gone.
Finally getting some decent fucking damage rolls. That's that. And then this Amnesu is unfortunately going to have to go into some melee combat. But who against? Who against? Who against? Unfortunately, its melee capabilities aren't that great, so it's actually going to try and use its cannons, but against the elves, because the elves are weaker. just to see if it can hit. But unfortunately, because it's within 5 feet or within 1 hex, it has disadvantage, and that is a 3+ stuff, so that misses. That is, I believe, all of the fiends done. It is now you guys' turns. There have been some casualties on some of this on your sides. What are you going to do?
Artillery.
Yeah, get that artillery.
Potentially just move down slightly so that it's covering this. I don't like this guy here. What do you think?
I think the amnesia are quite important because they're giving bonuses and stuff when they're close. But I mean, they're both are good options. To be honest, it's up to you.
I'll leave it where it is.
Okay, need to make a dexterity saving throw. It's the amnesia. Roll 5. That's awful. But the Maragon have rolled 12 plus a d4 from the amnesia plus 4, so 16.
What was the
The
stuff?
DC, I believe, is 15.
These spellcasters are going to use their reaction
Okay.
for divination, so I'm going to subtract a d4 from that.
Glyndon's teachings working in their favor, and yeah, even if they roll a 1, it still reverts
Wise
to
Master Glyndon.
Wise Master. That's a 4 anyway.
that's a 4 anyway.
Take that fucking barrage.
They're going to take that fucking barrage. So that was, I believe,
5d12, I think it was, wasn't it?
no.
Or was it 60-20?
No, I don't think so. I honestly, I didn't write it in my notes. I had it 46. 46. 46.
JJ.
Oh, hello.
That's nice.
Ooh, 17 points of damage. That's a pretty decent amount of damage there. So that's
Also, the accuracy is unreal. So not a hit. He's really does.
It feels like you've got a battleship in the harbour that's launching missiles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're ballistic, intercontinental.
Yeah, so what sort of happened is, I think we briefly discussed it last session, where like basically after Oramus left, Daviak ordered his cannons on the Vengeance to be tampered with by a bunch of enchantment wizards to make all the cannonballs a little lighter so they fly further. And yeah, it's essentially so they can do more damage. And they've got scrying eyes all over the battlefield so that they can sort of, almost like a sort of marker, be like, all right, 10 degrees up, sort of this amount south, fire.
Some scribe wizard is doing some mad Pythagoras to work out those angles on the fly.
Yeah. Well, they would have done like a range sort of thing, so that you would have seen sort of all day today that, and other days they would have been practicing with like single cannon shots, just like, okay, try and hit this marker. You were this amount off. Okay, try and hit this. Okay, now we know where that is. We can now use that as a marker to try and hit other things in and around the battlefield, sort of thing. It's fantasy. A bunch of demons are attacking
Are
these
these
guys.
things dead?
No, they're not. No, they're not. Neither of them are dead.
Dragon. Ryan.
The dragon's got
Drag on.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't hear any of that.
I don't know. You got the little thing on you, so I don't know if that means you're afraid.
It does mean he's afraid, and he needs to use his turn to move his full speed away from the amnesia.
That was fucking useful, wasn't it?
Still have your action though. You can dash back.
Oh. How many is a dash in this?
Dash is the same, so it's just your movement. So it's 8.
But it is your action.
Okay.
It is, however, your action, so you can't attack.
Yeah.
How many hexes can you move?
He can move 8 while flying.
Oh,
Wait,
well,
what?
just get back in the frame, man.
I'm so confused.
First time I was afraid.
I was petrified.
Okay.
Dragon's ending his turn there, because unfortunately you can't make any attacks because you used your action to dash. Sweet. I believe also Giri and the elves at the bottom need to use their movement to get away from the Amnesia as well.
I use my action on the go.
What do you mean? Like,
So, a little drive-by shoot of this one.
I would say technically yes. I suppose.
Well, I'm going to hold you to that.
As
First
long
answer
as you,
counts.
yes, but with disadvantage because you're frightened. So,
Yeah, that's fine.
It's attacks with disadvantage, but you are frightened.
Okay, and I guess he'll get an attack of opportunity.
Yes.
Ah, fucking send it.
Waiting for the send.
No, I went for that reaction.
Oh right. Waiting for the attack of opportunity reaction.
Then I'll
from the...
fucking send it, Ben. Don't worry about me.
Right. Attack of opportunity reaction. It is a disadvantage because you're within one hex. So that's no, they miss.
Okay, beautiful. Right. So this unit will use its Blade Boy to get advantage. So it's straight rolls.
Mm-hmm.
I hit 3 times. 14 does not hit, I imagine.
14 does not hit, unfortunately.
20 hits.
20 hits.
9 slashing.
Hit? Would 17 hit because flanking?
I've got disadvantage, haven't I?
Yeah, it's disadvantage because of the frightened.
Ah, right. Is that within threshold to do half damage?
17, 14. Yes, it is within 4. Yeah, so you would still do
cool,
half
I like
damage. So that's I forgot about that rule as well. If I'm honest. So that's 4 damage to them. Second one does hit, however, with the full 9 of 26, and a third attack. 20 does another 6. But then they're looking okay. They're looking. It's looking not too bad. It's a tough old unit, this Amnesu.
Okay.
He's got lots of cannon fodder around him.
I've got to take my whole turn to move.
Yeah, so you got to move the rest of your movement away.
5 can move. I think it's 5. Yep. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll go here. That's probably another attack opportunity if he wants it.
It is. Let's hope they actually do something this time. Oh, thank you very much. That's a 16 and a 17, but that's plus stuff. So that's 16 plus 7 is a 23.
That hits.
So even from point blank range, these cannonballs fire and just explosions all around. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. So that's going to be 22 points of damage to the blades.
Cool.
Nice. Cool. So that's the blades done. What about your who would like to go next? So we've done the dragon, but we still have dwarves. We've done the blades, but we still have the spellcasters.
Should we do the elves just because they've got a flee as well?
Yeah. So the elves have got a flee, which means obviously an attack of opportunity.
It does not, in fact, sir, because I have a bonus action disengage.
Oh, that's fucking good because I rolled a 19 and a 16.
He's also used
stuff that's
still
still
his reaction, hasn't he?
Oh yes, of course he has. So yeah, it wouldn't matter anyway.
We don't have to use that if you don't want to.
So you don't have to use that.
I haven't got another bonus action, so
use it for flavor.
I mean, you could use it to get to dash back, and then you still have your action.
Yeah, but I can.
Are we not frightened anymore? Any of us? Are we not frightened anymore, or do we make a save against it? Or
no. So at the end of their turn, they're not frightened anymore.
Okay, perfect.
I can also just take 2 shots on the way. Well, that's great.
Why?
And that's not going to hit either.
Who's this against?
This will be against the Amnesu.
No, but 14 is still within the half damage range, so that's gonna be 2 points. Julio. Cool. So that is the elves done. You still have your dragonborn.
Yeah. Luke, do you want to try and take out the stuff closest with your range?
I do indeed, actually. It's
Before we do
good
anything
shout.
else, just to decide where people go.
Right, shall I start with these boys here at the front?
Yeah.
One set of archers.
Oh, these archers really fucking haven't failed you.
Trained by Mazzy himself.
Jesus.
So
Why they're rolling this good?
I was going to say. And then they get a second attack.
Oh, but a 14 does not hit. As, yeah, all these arrows just clatter around them.
Okay, second lot of archers. How about 18?
18 does hit, and with that full damage, these Meragon are gone as they charge forwards and just get, decimated in just the cross of arrows.
And then the last shot, I'll ping at this boy out here on the flank.
Alrighty.
Oh,
Ooh, nat 1. You're lucky you're not in melee, so they can't attack you back. But nat 1 just completely flies, hits the cliff. Part of the cliff falls. Rocks fall. Nobody dies.
okay. Also, the knights potentially have got an attack. So I don't know if we're trying to retreat, if it's worth doing that, or if I should just pull them back.
The what,
Yeah,
sorry?
You can pull them around behind the dwarves and get flanking on the Nerza,
Oh, here.
whatever it's called. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a shout.
Yeah. Yep,
Well-
you are flanking. 12 does not hit a Narzagon, not even within the limit.
25 does.
25
Well,
does.
25.
25 does, however. And that is 6 slashing damage. Narzagon's looking kind of rough. What's everyone else doing? We still have the Dragonborn, spellcasters, and dwarves.
We've got both dwarf units to move.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I think the one at the top should probably attack the Narzagon. Or I don't know, maybe if you bring your dragon unit round first, JJ, then it gets flanking.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Which do we want gone the most? The Miragon or the Narzagon?
Narzagon out of those, surely. I swear, if the Narzagon rolls well, it can wipe out anything.
Okay,
I
so
thought the Miragon are a bit.
if I bring them round, yeah, it's just whether or not I stop here, take an attack, and then move here, or whether I just bring them all the way around and attack. So if I bring them round, make an attack. It's a 15. Is probably not good.
You have advantage.
Oh, I have advantage, don't I? Of course, the whole point of this. 12. Fuck.
Unfortunately
15
not.
Is 15.
Not even.
It's had really high AC. It's probably not in the range for half either.
These Narzagon are on like armored, fiery horses. They
Yeah.
themselves are in full plate armor with shields. They are full tank units.
Who's looking worse out of the capital army and the dwarves?
The capital army that's left up has got quite a bit of health still.
Dwarves are looking about half.
Okay. Then the dwarves can have 4 HP. That has not been my friend this combat.
Is that the top one?
Yeah, the top one.
Is that your only attack, JJ?
I only get one with them, yeah.
Okay. So dwarves now attack the Narzagon.
Yeah.
You have advantage.
Okay.
Oh
Hey!
God, be it, surely.
My Jesus Christ! Yeah, after the dwarves have received some healing, you just hear this like horn and this battle cry, and suddenly the dwarves just charge in. Narzagon don't even know what fucking hit them. You just hear the crunch of metal on metal, steel on steel, and just these like demonic wails and screams as the dwarves fucking destroy the Narzagon that remain. Yeah, yeah. It is a glorious sight to behold. Karakan would have been proud. Nicely done.
Do you have two attacks, Ryan, or just one?
The dwarves only get one meaty. The other dwarves, however, haven't actually attacked yet, so they can do. 13 unfortunately does not hit, not even within the limit for the Narzagon, for the Amnesu even.
What should the mages do? Who are we thinking?
Try and take out any Amnesu left.
We've got two left. Which one's looking worse out of the two then?
I would say they're actually both looking very even. Very, very even. And they're both about half HP.
Okay.
It'll be the closest ones because they're in a bit more space, whereas we can sort of bind up the other ones.
Yeah, I might move the mages down a bit as well.
Yeah.
Who's looking worse? Dwarves and knights. Who's looking worse out of you two?
I'm only 7 HP down.
Oh, on this unit.
Yeah.
What about the dwarves?
Dwarves are about half, but dwarves take half damage from most attacks anyway.
Alright, fuck it, I'll stick it on you guys again. So
Knights.
you're protected, and then...
Yep, knights have resistance to all damage.
Can this Amnesu make a... I believe it's a dex save.
Uh-huh. Oh, there's going to be a 10.
Yeah, fail. 3d8. Please be a good 3d8. That's not what I asked for.
Still damaged up. All adds up. Alrighty.
How much effort would it take me to get down with this mage unit on the wall?
I would say if you use all of their movement, they can appear in front of the front gates here.
Okay, done. And they're gonna protect themselves.
Okay. This is Glyndon and Moraine's unit charging down, going, enough standing upon the walls. Let's fucking have them.
Is it in the Battle of the Bastards when Davos is just at the back and he's like, we might as well holding our dicks back here?
Nice. Cool. Believe that is everyone. So
sorry, just move these mages.
Oh, yep.
I'll move them down here, I think.
Okay, awesome. So demons get their retort. So first we're going to do the Amnesu. These Amnesu, noticing that these feeble spellcasters, the gates briefly open, the feeble spellcasters step out. They're going in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they're going to fire. Actually, are they going to fire against the spellcasters, or are they going to fire against? I forgot to put the health for these guys in. They're going to fire against the spellcasters, or they're going to fire against the people on the wall? Because the people on the wall would do a lot of. Nah, they want to kill the spellcasters. So, yeah, they're going to roll to hit against the spellcasters. That's going to be an 18 to hit them.
Yes, easy clap.
Alrighty, that's going to be 8 plus 7 plus 4 is 11, 19. So 19 plus 6 is 25. 25 points of damage to the spellcasters.
After 12.
After 12. Roll me a d20. Actually, roll me 2 d20. Okay, cool. Thank you. The Meragon are now gonna take. I'll sort out the Amnesu actually all in one. So this Amnesu here is going to. Dwarves are good. but the Amnesu's realizing that they've lost a lot of troops here, so they're actually going to pull back. So the dwarves do get an attack of opportunity.
Oh, fucking Vincent.
12 misses, just what they're hoping for. And they're going to pull back over to here. And they're going to fire an attack against... they're going to fire an attack against, I think, the blades. Because they're quite afraid of the blades coming back. Because of how much attacks they do per round. And I think that's who's been doing most of the damage to these things, if I'm honest. So they're going to fire an attack against the blades. Let's hope they do something. Yeah, it's an 18 plus 7. That's a 25 to hit them. So that's my D12. 5 plus 5. Oh my God. 10 plus 8. It's 18 points of damage. Them finally doing some decent fucking damage to these amnesius. Then, so 18 points of damage to the blades. Now the final set of Amnesus is going to fire against some of their biggest problems, which have been the dwarves. So they're going to try and attack the dwarves. That misses wildly. That was a 2 on the dice, so complete miss for them. Complete whiff. The Maragon up front, however, is going to attack the dragon, I think. One dragon compared to a massive amount of dwarves that just killed a group of Nazagon. They're going for the dragon, particularly because the dragon was frightened. They're like, yeah, we can beat it. It was scared of us. So that is an 18 to hit the dragon. Can't hear you if you're speaking.
My AC is 18, so
So that is a hit. So that's 2 on the dice, plus 3 is 5, plus 3. So 2 plus 3 plus 3, 8. 8 points of damage to the dragon. Oh, plus 1d4 because Amnesu next to them, 2. So that's 10 points of damage to the dragon. And then finally, this Maragon over here is beginning to realize that he's kind of fucked a little bit. He's on his own, but they shall die for their leader, Lord Erebos or Orebos. Oberon. I forgot the name.
Are you having a stroke, Ben?
Yeah, maybe. They're going to attack the... If it's between a bunch of humans and shit and a bunch of dragon people, I think they're going to go for the humans and shit.
So racist.
I know, they're just the worst. That's going to be...
It's almost like they're the bad guys.
I know. It's going to be a 17 to hit.
That hits.
That hits.
Oh, yes, just hits, sorry.
Just hits, right.
Yeah.
So that's
Well,
8
that makes a difference.
plus 3 is 11, plus 5 is 16. 16 points of damage to them boys, and that is that. That is the devils. They're seriously looking weakened now. You hear many shouts and cries from the different sort of forces, being like, hold fast. We've got them on the run. And yes, there is definitely. You just begin to hear that sound of as artillery strikes are clearly inbound. Someone got the kill streak, and they're on it. Is it just again? Are you doing the artillery against the same people, or?
Go to Amnesia, I think.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, move it back. Just to hit the 2 bosses essentially.
All right. They need to roll some dex saves. That's a 5 from the one on the left, and a 4 from the one on the right. Fuck me. They do
Big
add
roll,
stuff, but
please.
even still, it's not going to work.
Big roll.
46.
Oh.
9. Not the biggest of rolls, but certainly not the worst of rolls.
Right, can I move the blades in first? Because can only attack one of these 3. And then obviously you've all got a bit more movement, so I'll try and come in and do some damage, then you can come around and pick up the pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Right, I'll go here. Will you allow us to do like when we move one unit? Does it have to do its whole thing in one turn? Or?
No.
I wonder if I can get some advantage. Like if the dragon moves over 1.
Yeah, the whole point of this is like you guys can move things into place and do things in whatever order.
Yeah.
So you guys can have this sort of synergy.
Okay. Ryan, if you shift your dragon up 1, I can get some advantage on this. I'm easy. Not there.
I think you meant there. Yeah.
Run away. Alright, so I've got advantage. Let's fucking go.
Oh, you've gone within 5 feet of the Amnesu. Can you make a wisdom saving throw?
Is that me? Or
Yes. Infernal Indiction.
wisdom saving throw, please?
Infernal Interdiction, actually. 16 is what you need. So
I also rolled a fucking crit on that first one.
can you roll me another one though? Because there's 2 Amnesu here, so they're both going to use their reaction to try and get you to piss off.
Okay. Please. Oh no.
14. So you make these attacks with disadvantage because you're frightened, and on your next turn you need to use your full movement to run away.
Mm-hmm. That's still a crit, isn't it?
So that first attack, actually, if you've gone within 5 feet of them and you have disadvantage, but it's a thing, so yes, that is still a crit, believe it or not.
So 16 damage to that one.
16 damage to that one. Ooh, my word. So that's yep. Just working out some maths here.
Is that up?
Yep. Just about.
Again. 25, 7 slashing damage.
Amnesu falls. The devils can no longer hold the massive thing up aloft, and it just falls. The Amnesu sort of falls down off its plinth, and just one of the blades just comes in and cuts him down. Your final attack.
Last one against the one on the right, so this would be a disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't fucking matter. Jesus Christ. So that's 12 damage against that one, which is awesome.
And that's them.
That is the blades. Alrighty. Who would like to go next?
I'll just move the army so they've got flanking with the dragon ball on this little
Go for it.
thing here.
Roll some attacks with advantage.
25.
25 does hit. 8 slashing damage.
Not dead though, I'm guessing.
They are not quite dead yet.
Oh,
And with the 14, unfortunately, they won't be for this round. Unless the Dragonborn have something to say about
that. Can I use a bonus action for my my guys here?
To rally?
To rally, yeah.
Yeah, of course. I believe that gets them back gets them some temporary HP.
Right, 1d10 plus 3. Oh.
2, so 5 temporary HP. Better than nothing.
Okay. And then the archers going to fire on guy closest. 16.
16 does half damage.
Okay. 6.
5, unfortunately.
Oh, it's definitely 6.
18 does hit though with 7.
Is it dead?
It is not dead.
While we're here, can I get him to make a dex save as well? Actually, I'll let you finish. Sorry, you got 2 attacks, haven't you?
Yeah. There you go. So 8 misses, 25.
The 2 nat 1s really suck, but the 25 does hit for 8 piercing damage. That's 23. 33. And then they need to make a dex save.
Mm-hmm.
That's a natural 1. Dex saves have
Bang,
not been their
16
friend.
damage.
16 damage. That's pretty good. Yeah, they've certainly taken quite a beating. They're not dead yet, but they've certainly taken a heck of a beating.
And then now defend themselves again.
Defend themselves again. Nice. Who's next? We've still got the dwarves, some spellcasters up the top, and the elves left. Oh, and a dragon.
Do you want to go, Ryan?
Yeah. I think these.
They have advantage because they're flanking with a dragon. 20 hits, 16 piercing damage, takes out these Meragon as these dwarves, fueled by their murder of the Narzagon, just charge blood frenzied into this other group.
And these dwarves will get this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll be doing very well.
20 does hit, and 20 damage. They take out the Amnesu as well. Second Amnesu absolutely demolished.
So will the dragon still be afraid?
The dragon is not afraid anymore. The end of last turn, the frightened ended. And as a point, now that the Amnesu are dead, the blades are no longer afraid as well.
Way.
And on their turn, they don't have to run.
Run, boy, run.
And
Ryan's on fucking cleanup crew.
He is on a bit of a cleanup crew. Yeah, that hits.
what's the damage? 1d. 1d6 plus 7.
7 is still enough. 7 damage as this dragon just flies in. And I'm just imagining this, Silriel the Golden Dragon. Golden dragons are usually meant to be quite reserved, quite noble creatures, fitting with their golden scales. But now he is just blood frenzied and just turns into this monster on the battlefield. Just claws and teeth and fire and tails and scales and everything just slashing and charging. And you're seeing Meragon just flying away on the battlefield like, just away as Silriel just gets in the midst of this group and just is just a flurry of attacks. But that is them gone, and it looks like there is only one creature left on the battlefield. Actually, one enemy left. So can whoever's left wipe them out? I believe it's the final group of spellcasters and the elves.
You go, JJ.
Okay, so the elves are going to come up here and shoot twice. A 20 for 9 damage.
Hits. 9 damage. That's a good hit.
8.
So the 9 damage will bring it to whatever it is. And it's the 9 damage will bring it to yeah.
And then the Dragonborn is going to action dash all the way up to get into melee range.
Awesome.
And mages here will go 2, 3, 4. So within 6 hexes, that's my range. And if I was where Luke's infantry, where I could hit. So.
Alrighty.
So
cool.
Dex save from them, please.
Hey, they rolled a good one. 19.
Okay, so half damage. 8.
And it is with this explosion of arcane blasts that the final Amnesu was destroyed. The armies sort of recoup. There is a cheer thrown out between all the armies, but Daviak, being Daviak, is being very, very cautious, and he sort of gives calls out to generals and gives calls out to people to sort of reform back into formation back in front of the gates, because he does not believe this is it. He doesn't believe this is the end. As all your characters upon the wall, you've been sort of adjudicating and sort of doing lordly things with Daviak, giving orders and assessing the battlefield and doing sort of other tasks. And as you now look across the wall, you can see that most other places along the wall have been somewhat successful as well. Some losses have obviously been had, but for the most part, the walls haven't been breached, except for one area about maybe a mile away, a fire has started. You think maybe a group of imps made it over the wall. These imps seem to have been taken care of, but there is a fire, and it has started, and it is roaring. As you look further afield in the battlefield, you can see that these 3 leviathans, the one massive one and then the 2 slightly smaller ones, are sort of slowly hovering towards the battlefield. But in the midst of this battle, as everything was raging on, 2 of the leviathans, the 2 smaller ones, began pushing a little faster towards the city, and they separated from protecting the massive citadel out. They're no longer protecting it, and they're moving towards the city. You see, one of them begins going to that'd be the west side of the city, and immediately the 2 of the metallic dragons that you've got with you spring into action. The silver dragon Chelarax and a brass dragon that you've come to know as Anrathic. That's his name. I couldn't even read my own thing then. Anrathic. Just fly towards it. Chelarax begins like blasting its face with this cold breath to the point where like half its face is frozen and pretty much like just like this frozen wall, and to the point where it can't really like open its mouth. And then the brass dragon comes in, and I mean the only way I can describe this is just huck to us a ball of fire from its mouth, and it hits the side of this thing's face, and much like you see with like a glacier sort of like crumbling, the ice on this thing's face just crumbles off and takes just a bunch of frozen flesh with it. And this creature just roars in pain, and it's a roar that you can all hear from all the way. And they just keep blasting it and pelting it with their breath weapons. And this massive leviathan just begins turning back just to try and pull back to its master and take some cover, take some time to rest and recuperate. This attack has been dealt with. However, the other leviathan is a bit quicker and a bit faster and gets the city, or near the city, quite a bit faster. You can see another silver dragon and a copper dragon appear, and they begin flying up to it, and they try and do a similar thing. The silver dragon sort of, because it's quite close to the city, it wants to sort of create a big sort of cloud of cold, freezing cold mist in front of it, so it can't quite see where it's going, and it can't accurately sort of spit its lava at it. And the copper dragon sort of goes up to its back and just begins spraying acid all along its back. You imagine maybe there's something there, but then the huge creature opens its mouth, and you just hear this guttural, dark sound that just fills you all with dread, even from the hundreds of feet away that you are. And it's just, and you see the silver dragon flying in the sky just sort of stops, and it's almost like stunned. And slowly you watch as it just falls and falls and falls, and with a loud crunch, it lands on the ground, several bones broken. Daviak orders, people to sort of spring into action, go grab it, go help it, go do anything it can. But before anything can be done, the huge leviathan opens its mouth, and lava begins streaming out. Molten rock just streams out and spews out over this dragon, ending its life instantaneously. An adult silver dragon gone. The copper dragon was also affected by this sort of stunning word, these stunning infernal words, but not quite enough. It manages to stay in the air, but suddenly chains appear from atop the massive creature. You watch chains sort of fly over to the creature. They wrap around its neck, they wrap around its wings, and they begin pulling it in. Blast of fire, blast of sort of spears and arrows begin attacking this creature. And this copper dragon sort of begins flying back to the city, trying with all its might. But before it can get back to the city, unfortunately, it just smashes into the ground and slides along the ground, unfortunately dying from its wounds before it can make it back to safety. This leviathan, though a little bit injured from some of the copper dragon's attacks, and clearly with some friends upon its back, is moving closer. However, you all know that, or at least you can see in front of you, more creatures are climbing from the depths of hell. More creatures are climbing from the crack in the earth. And the huge citadel. Upon the huge citadel, you almost can sense that a devilish creature, is almost just looking out at the battlefield, smiling slyly at you. Even though his two main defenses, the huge leviathans, have gone from his side and he is somewhat open. You have a choice to make. Daviak looks back to you all and says, fuck, what do we do? There's fires, that fucking leviathan, the other one's open, but do we abandon this place and go after it? What do we do? He's literally asking the Drengers for advice here. You've got a fire started in the city. You've got a huge leviathan slowly coming over the city, like first Avengers movie style.
Did you say that there was like a leader on that leviathan?
On the back of the leviathan that's coming towards the city, the smaller one, there seems to be creatures upon its back. Upon the one with the sort of huge citadel, I mean, you can assume, because it's been staying back and sort of overviewing the battlefield, you can possibly assume that's where some kind of leader or something is going on.
I think we'll go for that.
You think? I thought, yeah, they're going to keep coming unless Jojo's trying to hit a fly or whatever. It's funny.
Especially as it looks like he's just fully squared up to it, or like it's landed at the wall and he's there like ready to nut it.
You're on mute.
You're on mute.
You may be on mute.
I'm fighting my own battle against a giant moth in here.
Oh
God.
At one point, JJ, you look like you'd had 6 beers down the pub and were ready to nut the pot.
What did you say about the Green Party? Yeah, let's just fucking send a nuke, right? That guy's grinning. Don't like people that grin. That's you stop that now, Luke. I'll be around before you know it. But just see my camera go black and then you'll hear a knock at your door.
If you can get to my house that quickly.
I've mastered the art of teleportation.
Yeah.
I'm a 20th level wizard, bitch.
Makes holiday flight costs just nothing.
So good. Right. Yeah, let's just ride some dragons into glorious fiery death.
Nevedo can literally turn himself into a bronze dragon, so just do that.
Do you want a medal?
I'd actually love one. I don't think I've ever had one.
Certainly not playing football. What? Right.
You can still play football.
Oh Lord.
That was so brutal, I got a bit hard.
Remember how you guys mentioned on the same team for Under Demon Army? No.
It's gallows humor, isn't it?
Yeah. So what is the plan?
Dragon each. One for Nevada can turn into one. Dragon for me. Dragon for Mittens. Dragon for Ryman. And just send us in there.
Yeah. So you've still got Silriel, and then there's the 2 other dragons that are still alive. Are you sort of summoning them to come basically take you up there?
Okay, why not?
Once they've dropped us off, they need to go and deal with the other stuff. But yeah,
fair enough. Okay, awesome. You give the call, and Daviak, you can see him sort of pulling out several sort of sending stones, and all right, okay. You'll need it back at the wall. Come back to me. We need your help with something. And suddenly, all 3 of the dragons begin. And they land in front of the in front of the wall. The silver dragon is, clearly quite tired. You can see in front on the brass dragon, you can see a few sort of very large spears and pikes just sticking out of its neck. But they're quite large for you guys, quite small compared to its massive form. And then you can see Silriel just covered in blood of like demonic ichor. And Silriel says, "What is it you need, small ones? We must act fast. Another wave is approaching."
take us to the leader.
We are in a war. There is no need to imitate my voice. I understand.
Gallows humor.
I understand not this gallows humor. When at war, one must be serious.
Oh,
Stop time wasting and get flapping, big boy.
I absorbed the wizard and his friends. All right. They each turn around. You get on their backs, and the three creatures begin sort of flying through the sky.
Are you turning into dragon, Nevado?
Yes, I'm turning into a dragon.
And Nevado turns into a dragon. What kind of dragon are you turning into?
An adult bronze dragon, I think.
An adult bronze dragon. Bronze dragons do lightning damage, which is pretty useful. So
unless anyone has any other suggestions for my ship
the form is different.
Easily your most useful form, so just do it.
Yeah, you assume a form of a different creature for the duration. New form can be any creature with a challenge rating equal to your level or lower. The creature can't be a construct or undead. You must have seen the sort of creature at least once. You transform into the average example of that creature, one without any class levels or the spellcasting trait you gain. This is your game statistics replaced by the statistics of the chosen creature that you retain your alignment. Intelligence, wisdom, charisma scores also retain all of your skill and saving throw proficiencies in addition to gaining those of the creature. If the creature has the same proficiency as you, and the bonus listed in its statistics is higher than yours, use the creature's bonus in place of yours. You can't use any legendary actions or layer actions in the new form. You assume the hit points and hit dice of the new form. When you revert to normal, you return to the number of hit points you had before being transformed. If you revert to a result of dropping to 0 hit points, any excess damage carries over to your normal form, as long as the excess damage doesn't reduce your normal form to 0 hit points and you're knocked unconscious. Share the benefit of the creature. I'm just going to speed through this. Retain benefit of any features from your class, race, or other source, and you can use them provided your new form is physically capable of doing so. You can't use any special senses you have, for example dark vision, unless your new form also has that sense. Cool, so you have like fucking blind sight now and stuff. I mean, you can go online and look up the statistics of an adult.
I've got it up, don't worry.
Luke said he's
had
had
it
it
up
already.
for weeks. Yeah.
So you guys are flying over, and they suddenly look down, and there's another sort of bronze dragon flying. Just sort of beneath them. How does your bronze dragon look, Luke? Is there any flair to a regular bronze dragon that Nevada would have potentially made upon it?
No, because I haven't had time to think of anything.
It's all in the imaginings, mate.
It is all in the imaginings.
It is all in the imaginings. So you fly up. You begin sort of you and this group flying upon several dragons up to this point. Someone roll me a d20. I'm going to say JJ. Roll me d20. 4. You watch as a huge ballista bolt, longer than two of you guys put together, just flies past you from the direction of the huge citadel on the back of this thing. You sort of disperse, and they begin sort of flying in weaving sort of in and out patterns, trying to get you there. And as you get closer, lots more sort of very much smaller ballista bolts just begin sort of blasting from. It seems like on the back of this creature. So obviously you've got this huge Leviathan creature. I think you know how they look. Chitauri from the Avengers, but made of bone and flesh, not metal. And on the back of it is this large building. I said before it looks very like parliamentary, but I was thinking very much like sort of like British parliamentary, so almost I guess like a very Gothic sort of church. But looking at it, it's got the design of a church, but it's very clearly not a church, with all the gargoyles that are on the side, with all the sort of horrifying, spiky, pointy sort of areas and the imagery everywhere. Kind of looks like a church, not a church. In the front, there is a small courtyard that you can see, which has many of these sort of sort of mounted crossbows and one large ballista. And on the back, there seems to be another sort of courtyard as well. The building itself is very, very large, very, very grand. As I say, there's a stained glass window at the back. It is huge. Yeah, definitely a lot of just serpentine flying around. What do you guys want to do? You're being, you're on dragons. You are under heavy fire at the minute. These dragons are clearly taking a little bit of a beating. What would you? Where are you asking to be dropped off?
Wherever this main guy is.
This main guy, as you look, everyone make me a perception check.
As a dragon?
I mean, yeah, you can do it as a dragon if you believe any skill proficiencies it has, you now have. So
Passive perception of 22.
passive perception 22. That's pretty good.
That's a whiz, isn't it?
It is indeed.
Oh, it's actually better if I roll it as an evader.
All right, roll it as an evader.
You were saying, sir?
God's sake.
So, Mittens, you look down, and though you can't see any sort of particularly powerful individual, you can see lots of like sort of regular troops. You can see these upon balconies, sort of slightly up higher. You can see these larger devils with these massive, heavy crossbows. Down at the bottom, you can see sort of a couple of quite well armored individuals, like almost like sort of you'd imagine sort of like a sort of knights, like infernal knights. And you can see mounted on the like smaller ballistas, and the ones maintaining the massive ballista are Meragon. So these like slightly sort of hunched over, they're about sort of dwarf-sized devils with these sort of golden masks that all look the same. In the doorway, as you are getting closer, however, Mittens, you would notice with your very excellent roll that a creature does sort of begin moving inside. A creature that you don't see a lot of him because it's quite dark, but you do definitely see that he does look to have some fancier robes than the others that are here.
Fly that way.
Yeah, definitely sort of moving inside. So you've got obviously courtyard at front, courtyard at back, main building. What are you guys doing? You're on a dragon. This is a cinematic movie thing. What are you doing?
Where did you say this figure in robe was?
Figures in robes is like as you guys are approaching, he was moving inside, but the time you guys get close enough, he's like definitely inside by now.
Do we just get dropped in the courtyard and push in?
Bust in, yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good plan. Also, just for a bit of flavour, I forgot that Mittens cast Awaken on a T-Rex at one point, so that's down there defending the city.
I apologize. I completely fucking forgot about that. I was gonna
So
have
did
that
I.
as part of the. Oh my god, I was
So
gonna
did
have
I.
that as part of the thing.
It's fine.
Yeah,
It'll be
as you
there
guys
for
are
the
looking
second
back.
wave.
Yeah, as you guys are looking back, you hear like the classic T-Rex roar from Jurassic Park, and as you all look at him and Devil Arm is traveling towards him, it's just.
Yeah, imagine that on bagpipes as we fly through the sky.
Thing of beauty.
A thing of beauty indeed. Right, so you all begin flying towards the courtyard, and you would see this space. So as you can see, two very, very large individuals sort of up on the balcony, lots of Meragon sort of mounted on ballistae, two sort of, quite knightly looking creatures there, and yeah, quite large ballistae. You guys are sort of flying in, so do you want to drag yourselves and drop yourselves onto the map? And can everybody roll me, I'll say everyone roll me a d20. And whatever you've got, I'm going to add 6 to it. Oh, not very good rolls. And that's really, really good. That means a lot of the crossbow bolts miss the dragons. Good job. And miss a lot of you. So as you fly in, the final sort of ballista bolts are being sort of fired, and very sort of badass style. These dragons just sort of drop down, allow you guys off, and then quickly just sort of escape before ballistas can be reloaded and fired. You guys literally just drop immediately into the battle. Meragon are pulling out blades and things. These two, huge creatures, they seem to have these large pikes, and they just spin them in their hands. The large creatures up here sort of begin loading huge bolts into their heavy crossbows, and it seems like the battle is ready to commence as these two creatures go, "Give them no quarter! Do not let them towards our lord!" And when we come back from a quick break, not only will Luke have some time to think up some flair for his dragonfall, but we will also be rolling a little bit of initiative. And I don't know why I made you small, Luke, because you're about that big.
I'm massive.
Big. You are fucking big. You're huge.
Am massive.
You're huge, in fact. Awesome. So yeah, we'll go on a quick break, and I'll see you guys in
Is that a joke? 'Cause they're the exact same.
Good boy. They are exactly the same, but Kaiman has damage and spell slots missing from the fight you did against the bugs and shit, whereas this one is fresh because you're not done much. Cool. Well, if you guys are all back, without further ado, I think we need to roll some initiative, gentlemen, as we encroach this this place.
That's an
I'll
auspicious
put their
start.
initiatives just down. Oh boy!
Yuri stumbles a bit coming off her dragon.
Yeah, it was a heavy landing.
That's all that heavy armor.
One with an absolute stud. It looks amazing, but it takes me a whole fucking turn to recover.
What's your dex, Mittens?
+2.
+2. All right, so the Orthons go first. Then we've got Mittens with a 22. We've got then. Oh, I need to roll for Daviak. I've got a stat block open. Actually, I can roll it on here. Yo! Good job, Daviak. Daviak's fucking ready. This is what he's trained for. Orthon, Mittens. Then we go all the way down to Evedo with a 14. Ryman with a 12. And then Yuri all the way down at the bottom with a
Number 1, baby. In all aspects, good and bad.
It's like golf, right? We need a low number. Cool. I'm just going to stick those up there. And we're going to begin with Daviak, who drops down out of the sky. You can see Daviak's wearing like plate armor, but he is clearly very light and sort of very swift in it. You imagine it's some kind of sort of enchanted, very sort of light plate armor, with all these sort of like, it's like quite black armor, but with like golden swirls and inscriptions and sort of lots of sort of rangery-esque and protective sort of sigils and things on it, as well as like the symbol of amber like encrusted sort of in the chest, and there's several actual pieces of amber sort of placed within the thing. It's very, very fancy plate armor. One of the perks of being the councilman of war. He drops in and he's going to run over first to this Maragon and give it a good old fucking slap. So he's going to go. Yeah, that'll hit. And this thing only having that much HP is going to be absolutely fucked in one hit. Then he's going to go, so that was 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Pulls out his longbow, takes a shot at the one over here. That's a nat 20. Yeah, absolutely fucks that one up over there. And then I think that is pretty much all of his movement. So for reference, Daviak is now pretty much full paladin, except for a couple of wee things in ranger. Still a couple of levels in ranger still. So he's, I believe he's like a 17. Yeah, he's a 17 paladin, 3 ranger, and his oath is the Oath of the Watchers. So he gets some cool spells like counterspell and Watcher's Will and things like that. I've actually made his character sheet. But that is pretty much going to be Daviak's turn, at which point then we go to these Orthon. Now the Orthon are cool, and they are going to... yeah, they're going to use their bonus actions, and you watch as these 2 Orthon immediately just go invisible. Click the wrong thing.
Why would they do that? That's so rude.
This is a bonus action. These 2 Orthon immediately go invisible. They're going to move. Yeah. Yeah, they're going to do that. And then they're going to make a brass crossbow attack, each of them. And I'm going to get whoever they're going to roll it against. Who's the first one's going to roll it against Luke. So Luke, can you make me can you roll a d6, please? And can Giri roll me a d6?
5.
1.
1. Right. So, I probably should have rolled a hit first to see if this works. So against the dragon, that's going to be a 22.
Oh no. I'm devastated.
And against Geary, that's going to be also a 22. That's fun. So against the dragon, what was that? That was paralysis. Once per day, the target takes the original damage plus 4d10 lightning damage. You're immune to lightning damage in this form, and must make a DC 17 con saving throw. Can you make me a Constitution saving throw as the big old dragon?
Okay, so +6.
Uh huh.
Oh, fuck's sake.
The dragon becomes paralyzed.
Oh, actually, con save is +11. Sorry.
Con saves plus 11. Then that just passes. You got 17. So
Thank goodness.
dragon just passes, but you still do take 2d10, 2 plus 1. Fuck. That's 3. So you take 6 points of damage.
On top of the 22 from before.
And you don't take the 22 from before because it's lightning damage, and bronze dragons are immune to lightning damage. The one from Geary, that is acid. So can you make me a DC 17 Constitution saving throw?
Oh, you're joking that I failed that.
That's unfortunate. So you're going to take... Fucking hell, really? So that's going to be... so that's 10 so far.
I'm actually going to use my Indomitable to... Fuck it, yeah, I'll use my Indomitable to do that again. I cannot believe I failed that. Fuming, angry, so angry.
Yeah. Oh, God. Oh. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Ben, could you take these loaded roll 20 dice away from me, please?
So against Geary, that's going to be 31 points of damage.
Oh.
That's going to be the 2 Orthons go. But then we go to Mittens.
Okay. I'm going to move back over here away from the scary invisible things. And I don't know where they are. And I'm going to cast Animate Objects. I can animate up to 10 things. A huge thing counts as 8. So I would like to animate this giant ballista behind me, if possible.
Absolutely.
And then
I'll tell you what, let's have some fun.
2, so
you can now move the ballista. Obviously, the ballista can't move around, but you can twist it.
Yeah. So a medium thing counts as 2. Can I do this unattended crossbow as well, please?
Oh my God! Yes, you can. Which one? Sorry.
The unattended one, by the guy that Daviak killed.
The unattended one over there. Yeah, absolutely. I knew there was a reason. I fucking knew. I knew you were going to animate these little ones, so I made them separate objects that you could grab.
Yes, Ben.
Because I fucking knew it. You should be able to grab that one as well, and twist it around.
Excellent.
So I assume that's on your next turn. Then you can make them do something, or do they roll initiative, or what?
I can use a bonus action to mentally command them. I decide what it does. It doesn't actually say whether or not where they roll initiative or not. Yeah, it doesn't actually say about initiative, so I'm guessing. Do you want to?
Maybe your turn.
Up to you. Do you want to do them after me?
Yeah. Yeah. They'll go after you.
Okay. Well, that's me. So I'm gonna have the little one shoot this guy.
Alrighty. Roll to hit with a ballista. So that's going to be whatever its roll to hit would be. That's probably going to miss.
Yeah, that I have a +5 to hit. So
Yes, that is most likely going to miss. Yes, that does miss.
Unfortunately, upon rereading this spell, I realized that they have blind sight out to 30 feet, but they are blind beyond it. So this ballista might be a disadvantage a lot trying to shoot stuff. But hey,
Fuck it, it's a. Oh no,
yeah, let's send it
camera
to
fell.
shoot one of these guys.
Alrighty.
So the lowest is an 11 plus 8 for a 19 to hit one of the big guys in the middle.
19 to hit one of the big guys in the middle. Yes, that does actually hit. Yeah.
How do you want to do damage? Do you want to use the damage of the thing, or do you want to use the damage?
Yeah, I'm going to use
the animated object.
I'm going to use the damage of the ballista. So roll me 3d10 plus their damage modifier.
3d10. 26 plus the damage modifier on a huge thing is 4. So 30 damage.
30 damage as this huge ballista ball crashes into the first guy here and just shreds off a bunch of his like shoulder armor as it just looks like, oh, is that moving? This makes no sense. Kill them all. As it's just got this huge gash in the in its shoulder, pretty much. That is fucking dope. That is awesome. Yeah. Cool. Is that everything on their turns?
That is everything. Thank you.
Fantastic. Then we go to Nevado as a big old dragon boy.
Okay. Quick question on breath weapon. That's if I use breath weapon, that's
your action.
That's the action.
That is the action.
Then on my next turn, I have to roll a 5 or a 6 on a d6 to get it back.
Yes.
But it's like free to roll to recharge it.
Yeah. Free to recharge it, so you can basically like roll, and if you don't get it, you can do anything else. But if you, yeah.
Okay. I think just for the lols, I'm gonna breath weapon all of these boys here in a line.
All those little boys there in a line? Absolutely.
Yeah. Don't tell me you've transformed into one of those powerful creatures of the game to go after the minion shit.
Wait, are you going to do these 3 over here or these 3 down here?
I'm going for these ones on the right.
These ones on the right, absolutely.
Yeah.
So roll me up the damage of it, and what saving throw do they need to make, and what's the DC?
Right. It says 90-foot line, blah, blah, blah. DC 19 dex save.
DC 19 dex
12
save.
D10?
12 D10, okay. That's going to be a fail from the first one, fail from the second one, and a fail from the third. I'm changing dice. This is abysmal.
As well, there's also something about them being pushed back.
You have 2 options for a breath weapon. You either have one which pushes them back, or you have one that does lightning.
No, I want to fuck them up.
Yeah, all right. So they've all 3 of them failed. So roll 12 d10.
Oh no. Let me just go to the advanced roll thing here. D10.
No, I mean, not that it makes a difference, and you're going to kill them anyway. But if you did it on the other side with the repulsor breath, you could have just blasted them off.
You could have. Yeah. Well, yeah. You guys are on the. So basically, this citadel sits upon. If you imagine the Leviathan, its head is at the front, 2 fins on the side. It sort of sits on its shoulder blade because the back of it is obviously very much like a fish, almost have some move side to side. So it's still got like a really long tail that spans even beyond this huge building. 71 points of fucking damage. Yeah, these 3 guys are gone. Abso-fucking-lutely gone. As this lightning breath just crackles up the ground, and these 3 things just get blown into oblivion. There's nothing left of them when you look back at them. Nicely done. That's your action. Any bonus actions?
I think for now no bonus actions.
Coolio. Awesome. Then we go to Ryman. What you doing, Ryman?
I will. Focus on these guys down here.
Definitely hits. Nice. 6 plus 6, 12. 12 doesn't kill him. The bite does hit, however. 10 slashing damage. It's the bite that does it. So you run up to this thing, honk over its head, so its like neck is fully exposed, and then just throw him away, just off the side of the thing. And obviously, this thing is like a shoulder blade, so it just lands on the massive neck and just begins rolling off the side.
I'll move over to the other guys here.
Nice. Other guy quaking in his boots slightly. Cool. Then we go to some enemies finally. So we've got the Devil Legate. I don't know how you
Legate.
Legate. Right. So you got these two who are going to yeah, they get to make 2 attacks each. I think one of them is going to go for there's a massive dragon. I mean, there's a massive dragon.
Try me.
I'm going to make a saving throw to see if they're brave enough to go after the massive dragon themselves, or if they just are going to try and go after the rest of you and hope that you'll fuck off. It's 18 from the first one. He's brave. 2 from the second one. He's not brave. So this one just charges towards the very, very large dragon and is going to begin to make some attacks. Whereas this one here, I think is going to go for Geary, because Geary's the closest. So let's go with the one against the dragon first. It's got a +7 to hit on each of these attacks. It's a 12 to hit on the first one. Nope, but that's going to be a 22 to hit on the second one.
Me, I was just taking the off.
Yeah. I was talking to you. So that's going to be 8 plus 4 so that's 12 piercing damage, plus 8 fire damage, and it gets to use either focused hate, hellbite, or skewer, and it's going to use hellbite. So the target takes an extra 2d4 points of fire damage. 4 plus 3, so that's an extra 7 damage on top of that. So that was 12 plus 8 is 20 plus 7 is 27. 27 points of damage to you as the dragon. And then the one against Geary, I haven't rolled that attack yet. I guess I make 2 attacks against Geary.
Because it just exists.
I think it just is until I either drop it or lose it
concentration.
Oh yeah, concentration up to 1 hour. But you have a +11 to con saves. So
did you have technically failed any of the ones you've had to make so far? No.
So won't bother. Unless you take more than 20 damage, you're fine.
How much damage did I take on this one?
You took 27, but over the course of 2 different attacks. First one to hit Geary is a 25 to hit.
Right.
And the second one is a 23 to hit.
Yeah, both hit.
So that's going to be 2 plus 4 is 6. So 6 piercing damage. Plus, that's a good roll, 12 fire damage. And it's going to use... no one's within 5 feet of you, so it's going to use Hellbite to just deal an extra little bit of fire damage. To you, that's going to be 4 extra fire damage on top of that for its first attack. And its second attack, it's going to use... no, second attack misses. So it charges up to you, this huge long pike in its hand. The first attack, it just slashes across your form, but the second one you manage to deftly parry away easily. Then we go to the Meragon, and all these Meragon...
Where was that? 22 damage, yeah?
22 damage, yeah. Meragon are just going to start charging towards targets. So these guys, 10, 15, 20, 25, 35, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I think this one is actually going to go here and here and try and twist the thing around and just shoot the big dragon. With that, this one is actually, instead of there, it's going to go there and try and shoot Daviak with the thing. I'm not going to bother turning the stuff, but we all know what's going on. And then the last one's going to try and punch Kaiman. So the one who punches Kaiman is going to be a natural 1. Misses Kaiman. 1 against Daviak with a smaller crossbow. Misses. 1 against Daviak with a bigger crossbow. Hits. That's going to be 6 plus 9 is 15 plus 2 is 9 plus 2 is 11. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then against the big dragon, that's a natural 20. That's a natural 20 with a little ballista. So that's going to be, sorry, rolled the wrong dice. It's going to be 2 plus 9 is 11. Plus 4 is 2 plus 9 is 11. Plus 4 is, I can do maths. 11 plus 4 is 15. 15 points of damage to the dragon. And finally, Giri Kubo. What are you doing?
This is my bonus action. I'll use my mask, so I'll like flicker invisible.
Alrighty. You become invisible.
Smack the shit out of this guy in front of me.
Okie dokie. And remember, after the first time you hit him, you are going to become visible again.
Oh, I didn't think it was like the spell invisible.
Yeah, it works like the spell invisibility.
Okay.
It's not like greater invisibility.
I'll get advantage on it. That's cool.
Get advantage on the first hit, not bad. So, yeah, roll to hit.
Oh, and prosper. 24.
24 definitely hits.
15 damage.
15.
I'll go again. 19.
19 does hit.
19 damage. Go again. 27. 17 damage.
Nice.
Then once more for good luck. 20.
Yeah.
19 damage.
Jesus Christ. All right. So 15 plus, say, 20 is 35, 34 plus
52.
I think it's 70 dead.
70 dead, yeah.
70 dead. Jesus Christ. This thing's not dead, but after these 4 massive attacks, you like just slash across its form, and it just sort of like holding onto its pike, barely saying like, What? We were told humans were weak. What are you? Yeah, that's pretty much, yeah, wow. Fucked it right up.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else on your turn, Gary?
Yeah, I'll just slide around here. Is this like a banister?
Yeah, there's like a banister there, yeah.
I get a bit of half cover from it if some invisible prick were to shoot me, so, for example.
Yes, I think you would, depending on where that invisible prick moved to.
Oh yeah, that's very good point. Well presented. Right, yeah, that's all good.
Cool. Awesome. Right. Well, in that case, we go back to the top of the round with Daviak. And Daviak, he's gonna... does he have fun and steal your kill, or does he? No, he's just gonna deal with these Maragon over here. So he's just gonna run over and deal longsword 28 to hit, and that fucking decimates that one. Oh, sorry, wrong one. That one runs over here. 25, and that doesn't quite take care of that one. 17 points of damage. Oh, sorry, 2 points of damage. As he just runs across, slashes the neck of the first one, slides in and slashes the leg of the second one. But as he goes to the killing blow, it just about managed to block with his pike. Orthons then, you can see that as they become visible because they attack. Wait, is that part of the thing, or do they stay invisible because of their things. Any equipment the author wears or carries assumably ends after it makes an attack roll or is hit by an attack. Gotcha. So these orthons
But
become
they not
visible.
become visible after their crossbow shots then?
Very correct. Very correct. Well, in which case then you've seen them just climb across the walls up here. So
They're
they've
on
sort
the
of,
walls.
Yep, they are. They have a climb speed, so they are literally climbing across the walls. And a massive crossbow to you guys in their hands looks like pretty much like a hand crossbow, and they're just like one hand on the wall, one hand on the crossbow, just firing shit off. So the first one is going to try and shoot Giri again. Second one is going to try and shoot. It's going to like peek out from behind the wall and try and shoot the one who's seemingly animated a bunch of ballista to attack people, because you seem meek and lowly and less armored than everyone else. So
Hurtful.
With your pipes.
so first one against Giri, that's going to be a 9 + 7 is a 16 to hit Giri.
No.
Assuming that misses. And then an attack against Mittens is a 19 + 7, that's a 26 to hit Mittens. I apologize. Roll me a d6 for me, please. Indeed.
A 1. That was the
A
power
1.
wasn't
That
it?
was the acidy one.
Oh, the
So can you
acidy
make
one.
me a Constitution saving throw, please?
Yes. 19.
19. You are good. So that's going to be 2d10s. That's 3 + 13 + 3. So that's 16 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
And 5d6 acid damage halved. So 8, 16, 17, half to 8.
So that would make that number. So what was that total? Is that 24 total?
Yeah, 24 total.
Animation.
You good. Animation is still up. Awesome. Right. I believe that's all they're going to do, except this one's going to climb around here and just keep climbing up this wall. And this one's going to just climb. Yeah. Looking down. Potentially, you think now lining up a shot against either Daviak or still Giri. It's undecided. Mittens, you are up.
Okay.
You are still able to animate.
Yes. So I am realizing I've made a very poor offensive bard, as I don't have any ranged spell attacks except for cantrip.
And he doesn't know any swear words.
No, definitely not. So can this guy make a wisdom saving throw, please? DC
The guy
19.
up. The guy up here.
Yes.
Yep.
Please.
DC 19. That's a 2 + 6 is not enough.
Excellent. So he takes 4d4 psychic damage, 13, and has disadvantage on his next attack roll.
Nicely done.
As I
13
insult
psychic
his
damage.
mother and his lineage.
His mother and his lineage.
Yeah.
Well, he was born in hell, so he doesn't have much of a lineage, but somehow he really takes that to heart.
Yeah.
You're attacking one of these orthons, or
Yeah, he was attacking the Orthon.
shout, "You're a shit Spider-Man."
And then, because I'm guessing the ballista can't turn enough to shoot this guy, I'm going to make it shoot this
No,
guy.
not quite. It would be able to shoot. So
Okay.
roll to hit.
That's a natural 1.
That's a natural 1. Yeah, the ballista sort of begins to fire. It sort of like self-loads another shot, begins to fire, and it just sort of like the string just goes through the middle of the ballista bolt, and it just like snaps it,
Oh,
almost
it's
like
rotten
entwine, and just Yeah, rotten wood just sort of falls out of the side of the ballista. Not fun for everyone. There's a massive bang. You think for a second your poor ballista buddy is broken, but he's fine. He just broke one of his bolts.
Okay. Then the little one will shoot at the Orthon, not the Orthon, the whatever it is next to Giri.
Alrighty.
That is a 21 to hit.
21 definitely hits, yes.
Okay. What is the damage on these?
So that'll be 1d10 plus. These are like heavy crossbows. So that'll be
Okay.
1d10 plus whatever its damage modifier is.
1d10 plus 1 for 8.
8. Nicely done. This thing is looking very, very badly hurt as Giri from out of nowhere, you just see a crossbow bolt fly through this thing's leg. And it's there like
I'm
leaning on its pike,
contributing.
leaning on its leg and just like, ah! Not having a great time. Awesome. If that's everything, Mittens, we then go to Nevedo.
Indeed.
Big Dragon Boy, what are you doing?
Well, can I roll for a recharge first?
You can roll a d6 on a 5 or a 6.
Oh,
1.
that's a no then.
You can use all your spells and shit.
Yeah. Is it worth it? Can I? Frightening Presence, is that an action?
Frightening Presence is an action, yeah.
Oh, I'll do damage right now. So I'm going to do some attacks on the guy in front of me.
I believe it's like Bite, Claw.
Bite, claw, correct. Plus 12 to hit on everything.
That'd be a DC 17.
Behave.
First one misses. I'm assuming that's the Bite. So Bite misses. Claw hits.
Right. I'll roll the second claw and then do the damage after.
Yeah, makes sense.
Oh, behave.
Aw.
What is that? 3 nat ones.
Luke. So first Bite you go in and it just sort of bats your face to the side. Claw goes in, slashes stomach. Second claw just again bats it to the side. Roll the damage for 1 claw attack though. Still done summit.
2d6 plus 7. Oh,
18. Not bad. 18 damage as you just rake across this ligate gun. You just I hate guns. Not happy boy. Not happy boy at all.
Can I use the legendary actions with this?
No,
Or is that only if it's
yeah. That'd be ridiculous getting
that's what I was
legendary actions. Yeah, no, as part of the shape change spell, you can't
Yeah.
use legendary actions.
Just that makes sense.
Does it say anything about legendary resistance?
It's a hotly debated topic online. I think the general consensus is legendary resistance, yes. Legendary actions, no.
Okay. So
That's
I
good to know.
believe, 3 times a day you can just choose to succeed on a roll you fail.
Nice.
Shape change isn't broken. Cool. If that's your turn, Nevedo, we then go to Ryman. Ryman, you are in tense combat with the Maragon.
Let's repeat.
Oh no, he's not.
Oh God.
That's intense about this.
Half
This
an hour
guy- This guy's going over the wall.
Yeah, this is like Popeye just hung, flies over the wall, falls back sort of down the neck of this huge creature, and then off hundreds of feet, falling to the floor with a wet thud.
On 4d8 for your fire damage, you've rolled 7, 7, 7, 8.
That's fucking excellent.
Now I'll never roll again.
Yeah, I'll never roll it again.
Never again. And then I slowly, menacingly approach the last one. And just tell him to jump. I just point over the wall and just like
Roll me an intimidation check.
With advantage? Because
I'll tell you what, you did just punch one of them off the edge, and you're a big crocodile man. I'll give you advantage. So then 18, this one just sort of looks at you and just like starts shaking so much you can hear all of his armor rattling. Whatever he does on his next turn, you'll find out. But yeah, he's like absolutely fucking terrified. He's just a poor little soldier Maragon after all.
Poor little foot soldier Maragon.
Scalabouche, Scalabouche. Do you do the fandango? Thunderbolt and lightning, dragon very frightening me.
Giant lizard man is killing everyone in the building.
Oh no, no, no.
No,
It's time
no,
for
no.
me to go.
No. Mamma mia, mamma mia.
Why was this actually quite good?
Gallows humor.
Yeah.
Right. We are then going to go to the Devil Legate. I'm going with Legate because these people are meant to be quite hoity-toity devils. This final one who's attacking Geary is just going to make a couple of very, very weak strikes against you, trying to hit you after that fucking devastating blow you gave him. That's going to be a 17 plus 7, that's 24.
Yep.
And 5 plus 7 misses. So
No.
that's 17 plus 7. That's going to be 3 plus. Wait, I need to get up his stead block. There we go. That's, yeah, it is only 1d10. So 1d10. So 3 plus 4 is 7 piercing damage. Plus, oh, that's very good on the fire damage. So 8 plus 9 on the fire damage. That's 17 fire damage. And it's going to choose one of the following effects. And I think it's going to choose Hellbite again, because again, no one's really next to it, and you guys are in a bit of a duel. So 17 fire damage plus, plus 7 to that. So 24 fire damage total. And I guess in
31 damage. Total.
Yeah, 31 damage total from that guy. And then the second one is again just going to start whacking at the just whacking at the big dragon. So first attack, yeah, that's going to miss, unfortunately. And second attack, that's a 16 plus 7 is a 23. So I believe that will hit. 8 plus 3 is, that's 11 points of piercing damage for the dragon. Plus 9 fire damage, that's 20. And it will use its Hellbite, so that's 23, 26. That's 26 points of damage to you, and you will need to make a con save to keep your thing. You got plus 11, you need a 13. You're good.
How
You're
much
good, just
was
the
it? Then?
dragon.
It said 27.
27 points of damage to the big dragon. Nice, but that's pretty much going to be it, as it just sort of slashes across your form, slightly feeling like it's what's that term where like you're digging at something massive, like Sisyphus rolling a rock up a hill, sort of over here, just like it's gonna just keep slashing, but it's not really getting much of anywhere. Maragon, the last couple of Maragon, this one in front of Kaiman just looks at it shaking, and then it kind of looks around and sees the situation, and most of its friends are dead. There's a huge dragon there. It just throws its pike at Kaiman almost as like a distraction, climbs over the barrier, and just leaps. Leaps off, and I'll take my chances. Leaps off. It sort of slides down the side of this thing. Like, oh no, it's wet. Regrets. Begins falling off. Yeah, he's fucked off. Then the Maragon in front of Davyak is going to make a feeble attack against Davyak, which is going to miss, unfortunately. Then we have Geary. And Geary, while you're thinking about what you're going to do, if you just give me 2 seconds, because my iPad is about to die and it needs charging. It's on 2%. 1 second.
I have a nasty thing that doesn't hit. 19 hit last time.
Hooray!
Right, does it
An 18 does hit.
Oh, just nice. 13.
13. Yeah, with one deft strike, you slash at this creature, and was holding onto his pike. He finally gives in, falls on the ground, dead.
That's my first hit. I'm going to see my little dragon friend struggling. So 5, 30. I'll get to about here, and then I'll use my Gauntlet of Travel to Misty Step here. That's my bonus action.
Alrighty.
Let me mark off 1 on that, and then I've got 3 more hits, all with advantage on this poor fucker here. So I'm going to take -5 on all 3 of these just for shits and gigs.
Shits and gigs. All right.
That's not a good start.
It's not a good start at all. -5 doesn't hit.
20 hits.
20 does hit. Yep.
So 25 damage.
25 damage.
And then last one for fun. 23 hits, isn't it?
23 hits. Yeah.
23 damage.
Yeah, and with that, the second legate is just slashed away as you come in. First attack maybe missing as it just like hears you out of the corner of its eye, but then these just heavy slashes just dismember this creature, and it drops to the ground, gone.
I'll just look up at Nevado, and I'll just sort of raise my free non-sword hand, and then just do a... Oh.
Who's more the monster here, the massive dragon or Giri? Cool.
Actually, after I've done that, I'll then just point at the wall where the people are hanging on it. I was like, that's your job.
Nice. Cool. We go back to Daviak's turn. Daviak is gonna just finish this little prick off.
Go, Daviak, go.
Go, Daviak, go. Yeah, 30 is obviously gonna fucking hit. And with that, rest of the damage, this thing is absolutely wiped as he just guts it through and chucks it off the edge. He's then going to run 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 over here. And does he have anything interesting to take care of the guys on the walls, or is he just gonna have to fucking shoot shit? He hasn't used any of his spells yet.
Buddy.
Yeah, he's just gonna get to shooting. Next attack against the Orthon up there, 17 and 18, I believe, does hit an Orthon. Yes, because that's half plate, so that's gonna be 14 plus 8 radiant, which is pretty good for Daviak. This is 22 points of damage. As you see, his bow begins to light up with sort of the string of the bow lights up with radiant energy and carries that into the arrow. Takes him. You think Daviak's got a magic bow? That does a little bit of damage there.
Gonna take that off him as well.
Gary with the -1 dexterity.
I'll need that bow. Anything shiny Daviak's got. One.
My bow's bigger.
That is very, very true. And as you call that out, he kind of looks at you like, it's not about the size of the bow, it's about the motion of the arrow.
I did 30 with mine. What did you do?
I mean, if I was going to tally it up, put a number on it, I'd say about 22. But shut up. Cool. That's Daviak's. Then finally, the Orthon's turns, and that Orthon didn't like being shot at. So it's actually going to shoot Daviak. It's going to roll a 9 plus 7. It doesn't hit Daviak at all. Then the next one is going to shoot at Oh, shoot at weak little lion man or shoot at big dragon? Man, well, let's think about this. You can't get him with the fucking ballista because it can't angle that far, so you're not as much of a problem, I suppose. So yeah, big dragon. Gonna shoot at the big dragon. 6 plus 7 misses. It has disadvantage anyway, so yeah, misses completely. Don't know why I rolled that again. And as a bonus action, they're both going to, because I forgot to do this last time, they're both going to go invisible and start moving around. That's going to be the Orthon's turns. Mittens, you're up.
Okay, so
It's pretty much just the Orthons now.
Okay, so the animated things, if they don't have appendages to move, they gain a fly speed. Obviously, the ballista is held down, but I'm guessing it's on some sort of rotating mechanism. If
Yes.
I went up to it and cast Thunderwave, dealing the damage to the ballista, could I destroy the mechanism, freeing the ballista to allow it to use its fly speed?
I would say if you roll above 10 damage on Thunderwave, you destroy the mechanism. Because this thing's weak to thunder damage.
Okay.
So 10 would be double to 20. And that's how much you would need to free it of its mechanism.
I feel like if
So
you
need to roll.
If you get max damage, you destroy the whole thing, though.
As an
No,
animated object, it has 80 hit points, so I'm definitely going to deal some damage to it. But if I free it so it can then fly around, I feel like it's worth it.
Yeah.
So
I guess
Thunderwave at second level.
Okay, you need to get above 10 in 3d8.
I'm gonna thematically, I'm gonna sort of crouch down and try and angle it into the ground rather than blasting the whole thing. But
yeah,
Thunderwave at second level.
9. 9. Yeah, you blast this Thunderwave into it, and you feel it just, and then it sort of begins to go up, and then it falls back down on its hinge, and it's literally held on by the smallest bit of wood, but it can't quite. It can't quite do it. I will say this: if the ballista on its turn can make a strength check to try and rip itself free.
Okay.
It's going to 127 hours itself, but it might be able to do that.
Also, I need to make a note that I dealt 9 damage to it.
9 doubled.
Oh, 9 doubled.
Oh,
yes,
no.
You are correct.
Yeah, because it's thunder damage against an inanimate object.
Yeah, and then I don't think I'm close enough to anyone to give them bardic inspiration. So I guess animated objects. Is it an action for it to make its strength check to break free?
I'll say it's a bonus action.
Okay. Huge animated object has +4 strength. 23.
Yeah, definitely.
The beast is free.
Rips itself free. Manages to rip itself free. It takes an additional 4 points of damage, but it rips itself free.
Okay.
From its base.
Okay. I'm gonna have it fly somewhat over me to provide a bit of cover from whatever I think is up here, and then have it angle and try and shoot where the Orthon was up here.
Okay.
So that'll be disadvantage. No, that's a second. That one from the ballista. What are these ballista bolts made from? Demonic cheese.
Well, they don't get a lot of rain or really anything that's good for a tree in hell, so the bolts are just sort of bolts are really fucked up wood. It's not very good. You'd have thought
It's the cactus.
yeah. It's just a really bad cactus.
When we were getting bombarded on the back of our dragons, when you throw paper aeroplanes and they just go like that instead of
Yeah.
That's why we didn't get hit.
So, yeah.
And then if
Love
I can,
that,
I'm gonna have this turret. I don't know if it's got the range, but to try and shoot wherever this goes.
They have the range of a heavy crossbow, so 100 feet. So yeah, I'm going to say it has the range.
So disadvantage 15 plus 5 for an unnatural 20.
You hit precisely where this thing was, and the bolt just into the wall. It is not there anymore. Cool. That is Mittens. We then have Nevado. What's the dragon's blind sight again?
60 foot.
60 feet.
Oh,
5, 10, 20, 25, 30, 30, 40, 50, 55, 60. You cannot see this creature.
You sure?
Fly towards the building.
Well, I'm actually going to get my breath weapon back right now. Like, I've seen a vision. It's 100% confirmed. Fuck, it's fun.
It is unfortunately not. You are a dragon now, so I'm sure you'll be alright. So, what are you going to do? You don't have your breath weapon back. You don't know where these creatures are. You have blind sight. You also have a load of spells and shit.
Just wondering why you reminded me of a dragon.
Just context.
I know I can fly. I'm gonna fly, JJ.
Okay,
I'm gonna.
And also the possibility of taking these things out very, very quickly.
Can I see it? I just fucking fly about for like 1,000,000 foot speed. So
You have 80-foot flying speed.
yeah.
So yes, assuming you up there, you do see it there. You see that one over there.
All right. Can I get to it? Maybe.
I'm gonna say with all your flying about, that is where you end your turn. Because you just fucking place yourself in a million different places. That is where you end your turn.
Oh, that's one thing.
All right then.
So only.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. Are you doing anything with your action, or are you just?
No,
Okay.
I'm not.
Cool.
Actually, no, that's a legendary action. No, cool, fine. No, nothing. Carry on.
Cool. So now I'm gonna do that. Ryman, it is your turn. See a dragon's flown about. I imagine the dragon has been like, it's up there, and you know, dragons pointed directly where they are, but obviously to you guys, that's just a point up the wall. What would you like to do? You know, sort of where it is.
Well, what about health? Wasn't I a kid?
What about health, baby? Let's talk about you. Let's
talk about all the good things and the bad things and maybe let's talk about
hell.
a little bit.
Anyone need help? Before we run into anything else?
What?
Anyone need help? You guys
Yes.
Nah, I've only taken a very small amount of damage. I'm good.
I will take all of your health.
Giri will take all of your health. Giri's this one.
I'm about 80
The
down.
one next to you.
I think.
80 down, but still healthier than Mittens.
Yeah, if your health is what you said it was in the other chat, then yes, a lot healthier than me.
What is Giri's full HP?
264.
264.
That is almost double Mittens.
You have more health than a lot of the boss monsters I've put up against you guys.
I'm basically a boss at this point. What can I say?
You are basically a boss now. Fucking hell, heal, yeah. You get 70 hit points back, Gary.
Giri's always
Thank
been
you,
a boss.
Ryman.
That is
Thank you.
that is very, very nice. Nicely done.
Good.
Awesome. Ryman. Done. Next up, we have the Devil Legates. They're dead. We have the Maragon. They're dead. Geary, you've received a
Dead.
bunch of healing. Not dead. Definitely not dead. Feeling very alive right now.
Since I can't see anything, I'm probably going to take a little bit of shelter just behind this tree trunk.
Okay. You go up to the tree trunk, and it basically, although from afar it kind of looked like wood, now that you're really up close, it's like rusted iron.
No.
It's like a dead tree made of rusted iron. And it's rusted to the point where it's brown, so it kind of looked like a tree.
It's quite artistic.
Yeah. It kind of says something about the natural world we live in, and, you know, how everything's dying. Cool. Is that everything on Gary's turn?
Yeah. Not much use at range.
Awesome. Davek's going to run 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. He's going to use his bonus action to make a perception check to try and sort of find out where some of these pricks are. 9. Daviak thinks, yeah, it's probably maybe still up the wall. And he just fires 2 longbow shots up the wall, and nothing happens. Just arrows just hit the wall and come back down. Then it's the Orthon's go. And now with advantage, actually they wouldn't have advantage against the against the dragon, and that's the one it's particularly scared of. So this Orthon is going to make an attack roll against the dragon without advantage. +7. Oh, this dice, man. 18 + 7. It's 24. So that's going to be 1 plus 2 is 3 plus 3 is 6 piercing damage to the dragon. And can you roll me a d6?
There you go.
4 entanglement. Can you make me a dexterity saving throw, please? As when this arrow hits you, it opens up into a lot of sticky webbing.
+5.
18 + 5, you're fine. It sort of begins to go over you, but you just unfurl your wings and it rips apart. You're fine. This next one is going to make an attack roll with advantage against Daviak. That does hit. Can you go for the crit? No. Still does hit, though. And make Daviak to make a dex save. 1 again. That's acid. So Daviak needs to make a con save. 21. Daviak is okay. Thinking about it, as a paladin, Daviak should have stayed a lot closer to you guys, but hey ho. Daviak does his own thing. He's his own man. So that's going to be 9 plus 6 is 15 plus 3 is 18 plus so 18, 24, 27, 28, 30, 32 points of damage to Daviak. Awesome. Daviak's not looking great. Well, he's looking like fine, but not perfect. And this thing does appear here, down actually somewhere near the bottom. And I think maybe we can probably get one more round in where hopefully you guys take these things out. So, Mittens, you can now see this creature up upon the wall.
Yes.
Ballista trend. What would you like to do?
I will cast Vicious Mockery again, as it is my best ranged option at this point.
Alrighty. It rolled a 15 plus 6 is a 21 on a wisdom save.
It has saved, unfortunately for me.
It has saved it.
Yes. But bonus action can make this ballista like turn and fly up 30 feet. So it is 30 feet.
Not with disadvantage.
Ideally, yes. And then take a shot with a +8. 19 to hit.
Does hit. Roll the damage.
This is 3d10?
3d10 plus their damage modifier.
3d10 plus 4. 21.
21. Ooh, interesting. 21 points of damage. 21 points of damage is... You think I'd be better at maths by now. And I'm going to actually, because it's a massive ballista shot firing up at it, I'm going to have it make a dex save to see if it can hold on to the... Because this is a huge ballista shot firing and hitting it while it's clinging onto a wall with one hand. And that's a 2 on the dice. So this thing falls 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. 60 feet. Roll me 66 plus 6.
66 plus 6 is 25.
25. This thing takes an extra 25 points of damage as it falls to the floor and lands prone. As it, hit with a ballista bolt, falls, hits the floor with quite a loud crunch. You have another one.
Yes.
Another ballista.
Against the one by Daviak. That's not going to hit.
That is probably not going to hit, no, with a 14. Nevado.
That one has a lower modifier because it's a medium creature as well.
That's sad. Nevado.
Let's try again for this dragon, bro. You're joking me.
Oh dear.
Well, fuck that.
Well, you do have it prone right next to you.
Yeah, I guess I'll bite and claw.
Bite, claw.
So it's
Never has
plus
a man
12,
been so
so that's
unexcited by being a dragon.
Yeah.
I guess I'll bite and claw it if I have to.
24.
24
My
hits.
Should I do all the damage after?
Do
I'll
the
do it one at a time.
damage. Do it one at a time because it is somewhat close.
Okay, that's 2d10 plus 7. Nice.
22. Yeah. So it was close. That fucking does it. You bite down on this creature, just throw it around, spit it out. This Orthon is
Meow.
gone. Has been shot by a ballista and eaten by a dragon. Or rather, it's a dragon doing that sort of no.
So the 22 hit.
22 does hit, yes.
I imagine Nevado's dragon still has his squeaky voice. That's
Meow.
the flavouring.
What's the damage on that? 2d6.
2d6 plus
It's a
7.
brass dragon, isn't it? So it's got elements of like green and stuff in it. I imagine that green is like really like accentuated on Nevado because of his like nature.
Yeah, and while we're in the break, I was kind of thinking it was a little bit almost like viney. His scales almost like a viney texture.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I like that.
19 anyway on that.
Yeah, let's not overlook your max damage.
Yeah.
19. That's very, very big. Very, very big damage. Nice. It's not quite dead.
What about 23?
23 does hit.
How about 16? Is it dead yet?
It is not quite dead yet. No.
Oh, can I just sit on it?
12s to hit.
Yes, you are.
Still hit though.
Looks like
Yes,
I'm a
still
dragon
hit.
and I need some sort of handicap.
Gotta level the playing field a little bit.
You wouldn't think we've been playing this for 4 years,
That's
and
what
this is the
I'm
big
trying
final
to
boss
say.
fight. Why don't you re-roll those as d20s and see if you can get a nat 20?
No.
I'll allow you to keep the 11 from the d12 because that's almost more impressive.
Just for the sheer cojones of rolling a d12. It'll be rolling d6, isn't it?
It wasn't cojones though. It was purely
No,
Well, I had
pick him up. It's an idiotic move. I'm just
no. I had 12 in my head from the plus 12, and then yeah.
Oh dear Christ! Well,
Hey, look, I hit them all anyway. So.
you did, and I'm actually quite impressed. Right. So, we then got Ryman. What you doing, Ryman?
That's a good question. Everyone's pretty much got stuff handled. Oh wait, I muted it. Maybe.
No, we can hear.
No. Right. Well, I can go there.
Uh-huh.
And I don't think it'd be very useful now.
You're up next. So have a think about what you're gonna do.
the javelin's going straight for that guy's belly button.
So specific.
It's his fault for getting his torso out. That's what you get.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Visualize to actualize your target.
Exactly. No, I've kind of demolished him.
Guiding bolt 20 does hit. Roll the damage.
Now, if I was to do this at a high level,
Yeah, fuck it, do it. If you want that.
Called overkill.
oh, this is
15 plus 15. That is enough. As you shoot a bolt of radiant energy at this creature, slams it in the back, and it just burns up in this sort of like radiant fire, just falls down on the ground, dead, and it's just like what's left of its body is just glowing for about 6 seconds before it dissipates. You are all stood now outside this courtyard. Inside, you can hear like some sort of talking and just there's a lot of busyness inside. But as it is 10:30, I'm going to say
there's only one way to end the session.
Okay.
And that is for the four of us that aren't a dragon to go to a door, and we're going to barge through, and the dragon goes in through the stained glass window.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So you guys gather up on the door. Does anyone need healing? Daviak's got lay on hand, so he can top anyone up. Like Dragon, how you looking? Mittens, how you looking?
We'll take 24 if it's going from Daviak.
24 is going from Daviak. Yeah, that puts him on 61 because he has 85 points of lay on hand, so that's healed.
The dragon wouldn't say no to a bit of health.
Yeah, he's going to give you. How much do you need?
How much do I need?
Yeah.
81.
Oh god, he doesn't have that much to give. He's going to give you 31.
Cool.
That puts him on 30 points of lay on hands left. He has prey. Oh.
I have another heal. Summoning heal.
Oh, okay. In which case, yeah, he won't do that. He'll take that back, knowing that he's about to do that. And then Ryman comes in and goes, "Hold my beer."
Nice.
Big heal of 70. So the dragon gets some HP back. Daviak pulls out his longbow, very sort of military tactical style. You guys all sort of get up by the doors, and everyone sort of standing there. David goes, "Who's going to count it? Who's counting us in?"
3, 2, 1. Fire!
Freak!
A fucking dragon followed by a giant ballista against the windows.
I was more thinking giant ballista just shoots into the door to burst it open as we all rush in as the dragon comes in.
Giant ballista blasts.
We'll get a flashback.
Flashbang going out, sunburst into the room. And I'll tell you what,
this has been so silly, but I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah, this has been exactly what I wanted. And to give you guys a little bit of a taster, just a little taster for what's coming next session. as you jump into the room, and I'll leave the big explanation for later. But this is the sort of thing that you see, this large open room. But imagine instead of this open space, it's filled up by tables, just lots and lots of tables. And all these little impish things are writing lots and lots of tiny little contracts as they're writing. They're making like the final swish and flick and burning up in their hands. But you guys blast into the room, a dragon comes through, ballista bolt flies through, and there is just mass confusion, mass panic. And we'll leave it there, and we'll leave it for next session where we can hopefully finish this up. I think with the damage you guys were outputting there, I think it's definitely possible that we could finish this up in the next session. If you get a second, have a look at the some of the art on the tokens, because I think it's absolutely incredible. Definitely gives the sort of vibes. I think of these devils, which are very sort of courtly individuals.
Who's this fat boy on the right?
Yeah, they're very, very fat looking aristocratic sort of devils. Yep. That's how I like to imagine the sort of higher bits of hell with all their contracts, and there's I like to imagine basically like the big cities in hell are a bit like Victorian London. Filled with smog, tall Gothic buildings.
Are you telling me that hell is capitalist then?
Yeah, pretty much. Hell is a capitalist state. And you can see sat on the throne there.
Nevada is so communist; it's not even fun.
One thing I will say is, on the throne there is a creature who is not as fancy as he looks there. That was just the thing I just wanted to use. But he looks like a half bull, half man, who is just stitched up. Like he's got scars and everything across his body. He's had bits grafted to him, and you can almost recognize immediately that this is Borisov, the creature that was within Balzanor, but he is absolutely fucked up and clearly still in recovery from when you guys messed him the fuck up. And he's just sat there like half dazed in this chair. Whereas there's a guy next to him who looks a bit more prim and proper, sort of just handing him things. But we'll get to that next week. Hope you guys enjoyed. It's been a lot of fun. Loving the energy going into this. Hopefully we can keep it into next session and we can have a grand old time. Hope you guys are enjoying this little bit.
I'm not here next week.